Hey guys, Greg with BTOD TV and BTOD.com. If you've been following our channel or following our brand, you may or may not have seen that we are currently in a lawsuit with a company called Next Technologies out of Georgetown, Texas. This is the parent company for both EvoDesk and Xdesk, formerly known as NextDesk. Now, at the direction of our counsel, we really haven't been addressing this lawsuit. But unfortunately, because of their continued attacks on our business, and also me personally, I thought it was important that we cover 5 of the main areas that they've outlined on their Xdesk website, what they call BTOD exposed. So in this video, we're gonna cover basically the Xdesk Terra and the things that they've outlined that they deem to be, I guess, alleged claims that are false. And today we're gonna show you how they are true. The first claim that we're going to look at is the fact that the Xdesk Terra does not come with overload protection. But before we actually show you that, I want to talk about the desk setup itself. Now, it doesn't have the original bamboo surface on it. We are using our own 1 1/8" thick laminate surface that is commercial grade. Now, this isn't impacting any of the testing. It is strictly being used as a surface. Additionally, we did purchase a new DLS 4-column. This is the exact same column that was being used on the desk when we tested it. The rest of the desk is the original frame, and it does include the original control box, which is the technology or the brains of the desk itself. Now, when we look at overload protection in my opinion is something that is linked to protecting your desk from being overloaded. When you look at most warranties, one of the things that will disqualify you from making a warranty claim is misuse and abuse. And so for this desk, it's rated at 315 pounds. You wouldn't want to intentionally overload the desk and have a claim against you as misuse and abuse. So we have 314 pounds on the desk as it stands right now. The surface itself is 54 pounds. We have 2 75-pound dumbbells and 2 55-pound dumbbells. So at 315 pounds for a max capacity, it should have no issues lifting this weight. So as we move the desk up, you can see it has no issues moving the desk up. Now, the next test that we're gonna do is we're gonna significantly overload it. I myself weigh approximately 190 pounds. So when I sit on this desk, it really should have overload protection preventing it from moving up. So if it moves up without stopping, you'll be able to tell right away that it doesn't include overload protection. So as we move it up, you can see it's moving very slowly, but it is moving, so it clearly doesn't have overload protection. The second thing we're going to be looking at is the lack of collision avoidance on the Xdesk Terra. Now, when we test this, we're gonna look at 2 different things. We're gonna look at the Xdesk Terra, which doesn't have collision avoidance, and show you how that functions. And then we're also gonna show you the new Fully desk, the Jarvis, which does include collision avoidance. This is really designed to help you with hard impacts. So if you were going up and you hit something like a shelf, it would stop the desk and back off. If you were going down and it hit something like a chair or potentially a file cabinet, it would then reverse course there as well. So the first setup we have, again, we have the Terra here, we have the Jarvis here. So I'll go ahead and I'll actually press and hold the down button and you'll see what happens. It will just bring up the leg and it won't stop itself. So we'll put that back in place and we'll actually swap positions here between these 2 desks. And we will show you the same thing with the Jarvis. Now you can see when the Jarvis runs into the Terra, it does automatically stop and then back off of the object. The third claim that we're going to be taking a closer look at is the stability issues that are exhibited at all heights with the Xdesk Terra. Now, it's important that we put this in context, as the left to right or lateral stability on this desk is not a problem, and this stems from the fact that they have a traditional cross support and the Linac column. Unfortunately, the front to back rocking motion is an issue, and this comes from the solid aluminum foot design. Now, we're not the only ones to find this to be an issue. In February 2019, Wirecutter put out their best standing desk list for 2019 and made reference when reviewing the Terra 2S that the thin profile on the aluminum foot was a problem for stability there, as well as it created flexing. And the thing that's really interesting with that is the fact that the Terra 2S is supposed to have a wider foot, which is supposed to help with stability. Now, before we actually show you the flexing in the foot, which is causing the problem, I want to talk about another thing, which is Xdesk has been on record lately saying how important leveling glides are to making a standing desk stable. Now, this is something that they don't include standard with the Terra product. In fact, you have to pay $99 additional to get the adjustable glides on the foot to make it stable. So the first thing I want to show you is that we don't necessarily put a level on the desk, but we do make sure that the glides are firmly planted on the floor. So for this product, they have 6 glides, and we're gonna take a close-up so you can see that each of these glides are planted firmly on the floor. Come around to the other side. And this gives us a nice, solid, consistent foundation for your standing desk. Now that we can tell that it is on the floor flat, we're gonna bring it down to its lowest position so you can see that this is an issue at all heights. And when we push down on the corner of the desk, you can actually see that flexing in the back of the foot. Same thing when we push down in the center of the desk. So you can see from that solid aluminum foot design, there's not enough structure there to prevent that flexing. The fourth claim that we're going to address is the inaccuracies that we have found through the Xdesk website. Now, these can be various from best-in-class claims, such as their 1.7 inches per second, which we actually found the desk to run closer to 1.5, which is in line with Linac, what they reference for their desk. They also make mention of other things like the actual design of the frame, that it's from a solid aluminum, but we know that the Linac columns themselves, a significant portion of this desk is made from steel. It is only the actual foot design, the cross support, and the upper support members that are in fact aluminum. One of the biggest things that I have an issue with, though, as far as inaccuracies are concerned, and it's something that was true in 2017 and is still true to today in 2020, that they have failed to update on their website, is the fact that they say that their desk has a dual chain system that operates the legs, moving them up and down. This is something that actually in 2017, Linac phased out and they went with a spindle-driven system. So we have a steel case column, which actually used the DL4 column. And in here, you can see what it looks like when it has a chain drive. Now, when you open the columns of a NextDesk or Xdesk Terra, you can see that it has a 2-stage spindle-driven system. Which one is better? That's up for opinion, but I do think it's important that they include the accurate, up-to-date information on what is technically driving their desks up and down. The last claim that we are taking a closer look at is the fact that I mentioned the big vertical portion of the standing desk frame, the lifting columns, are a different color than that of the rest of the frame. Now, when we think about what the construction of this desk is made from, we know that the feet, the cross support, and the upper portions of the frame are made from aluminum, and the vertical portion from Linac is a powder-coated steel. Now, it's inevitable that these two won't match. You can tell there's a higher sheen on the aluminum, and then there's also a duller matte finish on the column itself, but both of these do have distinctly different gray colors. Now, how has Xdesk gotten around this, or what are they claiming in the lawsuit? They are specifically saying that the vertical portion of the column essentially in the frame is not part of a standing desk frame. So essentially, if you were to buy a standing desk frame, you would receive the feet, the cross support, and the uppers, no lifting columns to tie it all together. I think for the most part, almost everyone would be very disappointed if they ordered a standing desk frame and only received those components. It's unfortunate that it has come to this point where we have actually had to address this lawsuit in public, but Next Technology's lack of professionalism throughout their content and their continued attacks on our business and me personally has required a response. Now you can see in this video, I have addressed the 5 major things that they've outlined in the BTOD exposed video, and you can tell these are in fact true, and I stand behind everything that I have said. Thanks a lot for watching.